Look at that. That's Tiffany
Hey, guys.
in the front seat of a brand new Mazda CX-9. There's Mark. Mark, pronounce your last name for me.
Alberici.
Alberici in the back seat. Guitarist, producer, stud.
Everything.
And we are in Rosemont right now, where you were performing for the past 2 nights. But specifically today, we're at the Murray Brothers Caddyshack. And I should mention, before we eat their food, before you perform in this car,
I know.
Con Carne, presented by the Autobarn Mazda of Evanston. I said to the Autobarn Mazda of Evanston, I have freaking Tiffany in the car. Give me something that feels luxurious and comfortable, something befitting Tiffany. And here we are in a lovely Mazda CX-9.
Love it.
It's roomy. I mean, I know you. We just went to your tour bus. This could be a tour bus.
This could work. Yeah, definitely.
This could be fitting
we've
for
got
Tiffany.
a lot in here, and I'm comfortable. So this could work.
All right, so we're ready to eat and do this thing?
We are ready.
It's Con Carne. Let's eat in the car. It's Con Carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
Okay, so I want to thank Andy Murray, who is the chef, the wizard behind Murray Brothers Caddyshack, because he just walked up to the window and
I know.
He just
handed
kept
me all this lovely,
I don't know how
scrumptious food, which I've already started to eat.
Calamari. It's funny. I was talking to him before I went to pick you up, and he said, well, what kind of dietary restrictions does she have? I'm like, I don't think she has any. He's like, come on, all celebrities, especially women, they've got dietary restrictions. I'm like, no, dude.
I'm not crazy on milk. Just
creamy.
Yeah, it's not my favorite. But then I'm a hypocrite with it because I like tiramisu and I like,
tiramisu.
Alfredo. I have no rhyme or reason. It's just if it comes to me and it tastes just like milk, like to drink a glass of milk would freak me out.
I can't do that.
I can't do it.
I can't either. And so you're having jambalaya.
I know.
And I want
hope
to hold
you didn't
these
want
up.
any of this.
No, it's all you. Buffalo Brussels from Murray Brothers Caddyshack here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Brussels, so they're kind of healthy, but just loaded with spicy buffalo sauce.
Yeah.
And
I'm all about spice.
Fun fact, which you probably picked up as you're watching and listening, foodie. Hardcore
I am
foodie.
a foodie. So definitely.
I'm gonna try it.
And this, you actually do have to try
Mark,
some
I'm
of
gonna have
this.
you lift
I will
that
share.
microphone up closer to your mouth so we can hear your dulcet tones.
Fried peppers as well.
Is that better?
Much better. So as we talk, or as we eat, we're going to talk, and then you'll play.
I'm going to sing.
Which I love.
After I'm full with food, and I'm like, hello.
So as we're doing this is you're coming off 2 nights at the Allstate Arena.
Yes.
So here you are. You're playing with new kids. Flashback to 1990 when you took them on the road.
Yeah. Well, no. Before that, 87.
Oh man.
86, 87.
So what's it like decades later to be going on the road with those guys?
Well, it's a lot of fun. I mean, we get a chuckle because we walk by each other in the hallway before shows, and it's like, it's you. It's a great feeling. I was already on tour with my project, Pieces of Me. I've been working my project for a couple years now, recording it and then promoting it in the UK, and then asked to do this. So we plopped it in between all this other stuff. So it's been really great, though.
Salt and Pepa, Debbie Gibson.
The peppers are making my nose run. They're working.
So from here you move on to Detroit, Toronto, Buffalo, Columbus. I mean, this is the Mixtape Tour.
Yes.
All the stories about you, all the reviews about you, tend to hold you up to that stratospheric success you had as a teenager. Everyone still wants you to be Tiffany the teenager, Tiffany the mall queen, Tiffany the pop superstar. It in a sense, it's like they don't want you to grow up and evolve.
Annoying. Yes.
Yeah, well, that was my question. Does that even throw you off or make you roll your eyes, or are you just like, whatever?
It does make me roll my eyes a little bit. I have to try to eat and talk at the same time. That's the challenge.
Notice I'm not eating.
Nah, I know. I get it now. I see what's happening.
That's the pro move.
Yeah, I just keep doing what I do, and just keep pushing the issue, and just keep performing live, because that's really what I am, a live performer, and taking it to the people. I think for a while it was about wooing the industry, and that the music industry is so up and down. A lot of avenues
it's certainly not what it was when
have
you
closed
started.
off, and and then there's other opportunities. So you have to work it for yourself. But I think for me mainly is overcoming that hump is just taking it to the people. just taking it to new fans, my old fans who've been with me for 30 years. And if you're loving what you're doing and you're excited about it and it's good stuff, then it's going to find a home.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've gotten frustrated over the years because it's just like, we love this new single. You know, back in 2000, I had great reviews and Rolling Stone and all kinds of things going on that you just can't imagine. You hope for, but it started falling out of the sky. And the biggest thing was, great song, but it's Tiffany. Right. And that was so, frustrating. So, I mean, I did Playboy to get around that one a little bit.
Was that like a declaration of...
It just happened. I was asked at the same time, and I was so frustrated with working my record and having that image. The mall girl, the one-hit wonder, the 15-year-old, and I thought, well, it's definitely going to show a different side, literally. And so I went for it, and it did. It kind of helped in a weird way, in its own weird way, because it did a different image, literally. But, I think now, full circle, it really is about just, having great musicians with me, my full band, and doing the work.
Mark's an animal.
Mark is an animal.
I am. Terrible.
Well, another thing people will say, Tiffany's reinvented herself with a new album, but really it's not a reinvention. It's an evolution.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for a while. Like I said, The Color of Silence was kind of my first turn to say that, really there's a rock edge to me that's always been here. I want to show that side. I want to be known as a live performer. I want to tour with a real band, a full band.
Yeah.
Because it's very easy for somebody like me, especially in the 80s, to get stuck as a track artist. And of course I've done that as well. Mm-hmm. I love doing the retro stuff, don't get me wrong, but it is very limiting. And it's not showing my full potential. So,
sure.
There's, as any artist, you want to grow and you want to show what's in your heart and what you think you can do. And you should be able to do that. So that's kind of what I've been doing. And like I said, just we're already working on the new album,
Great.
Riding in the back of the bus, but having great musicians around me and having people who have inspired me. And I think, after The Color of Silence, I worked with a lot of producers who said, yeah, we'll do that. Sure, it'll be rock and everything. And then they watered it down slowly. And it was just a pop record. So that's why you haven't seen those things, they won't make the light of day because I nixed the whole project. Spent a lot of money sometimes and went, I don't really like this. It's not right. But when Mark came around, and that was it. I mean, it was the first person who's really taken me serious, who was like, well, why can't you do a rock album? I'm like, well, here's how that went. But, after a while, when you're just around people who are like, do it. If you love it, do it. Do you think your fans? I said, well, I think my fans would love what we're doing. And it really was about working with him, because you never know if it's gonna gel or not. You hope even with your circle of musicians that you're around that good songs are gonna come, but if they don't, it's very awkward. You're like, well, that was a really crappy song we just wrote. What do I do?
I do want to talk more about that album, and really it's because I want to have Mark talk more because I love his accent. But I was thinking
too.
I was thinking as I was driving over here today. I have a 17-year-old kid. If you put him on Larry King tomorrow, I can't imagine what would happen. And then I thought about, you went through all that. Like
I did. Yeah.
What a mess. What a mess.
Thank you.
I mean, just as a teenager, being put in that crucible of media and focus.
Well, yeah. I mean, I kind of went through a lot of that right off the bat, trying to validate myself. And, where do you think you're going to be in 10 years? And I was like only 16. I was like, I don't know, singing, doing this. Do you know something I don't know? And then I had problems with my manager, and I had problems with my producer and my parents, and there was a lot going on. So in the first 3 years of my career.
And this was a mess that was going on publicly as a kid.
Yes, it was a big challenge. I think that was, for me, being a girl from Norwalk, California, my parents didn't know anything about the music industry. I didn't come from money, just an average working class family. And then you have, this huge career and paparazzi at the door and everybody wanting to know your business. And my family had some problems. So, that was all exposed. Obviously, I did my emancipation where I would just wanted to go and live with my grandmother. Mm-hmm. And of course, my mom was, very kind of close to me. I was the eldest. She depended on me and she didn't want to let me go. So that was the simple part of it. Mm-hmm. But when you get attorneys involved and things like that, everybody starts fighting. Of course, they want to make their bills really plush and nice, so they don't want you to make nice with anybody. I learned that very quickly. And they keep you away from people. And then things get said that you never said, or like, and then of course the media gets a hold of that, and then it's bigger. And I just found that to be a real big mess. And I think that's probably why I either try to be a person that confronts it right away, big on communication. Yeah. Got to talk it out, people, because it can be handled. Don't let things fester. Or, I'm either the other way. I'm very private because, you are in the public eye. And if you're going to hear something, you're going to hear it from me first. I think I learned that,
Smart.
right off the bat.
Here's what concerns me. You're talking and Mark's not eating. Like, this is your
Oh,
chance.
I am.
No, he is back there. I can hear him. He's just very quiet.
I was just being very polite about it.
He's very proper.
He is very
But I have
proper.
to say,
I am not.
You should try these because these.
Oh, these are the golf balls from
Really
Murray Brothers. They're just giant. I don't know how you're going to do
Okay,
that.
I'm giving you
potato
back
balls.
that because I clearly can't handle the
they're really good.
spoon in that. It's going to go fling at some point.
Thanks, Andy Murray of Murray Brothers Caddyshack.
Yes.
They're really
Are you
good.
too cold?
No, I was warm, getting warm. Talking about my life makes me warm. I'm all, what are we talking about?
Oh, these are stupid. So it's like mashed potatoes and bacon and...
It's all good stuff.
Oh, this is glorious. So I think we're alone now. Oh my God, that's endured. And you redid it.
Yes.
What was the impetus, the drive to redo it? Just take ownership for it as a 40-something Tiffany?
Well, yeah. I mean, every night when I go out on the road, and like I said, we've got 40 dates coming up. Tiffany Tunes, everybody.com. Check it out. It's kind of like, of course, I will never do a TIFF show that you don't perform. I think we're alone now, or could have been. I mean, that's my start. I love them.
Yeah.
Love those songs. I'm grateful for them. They're my connection with the fans. But it was new music and then retro, and it's like, okay, well, that's an awkward show. And really the songs that I've been given, I think we're alone now, are amazing songs. So when you have amazing songs, they can actually be reworked.
Sure.
A lot of different ways on acoustic guitar, piano, but you can also pump them up and make them very valid and revamped in today's world because they are such great songs. So that's what we've been doing behind the scenes. And that led to us, playing I Think We're Alone Now a little bit more rock-ish, which of course
That's
works
where
for
you're
me.
at right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, even before I got the Mixtape Tour opportunity, we were recording that, doing the video, and just kind of putting that together for the fans because I thought it would be a lot of fun. It was time. And it gave me the opportunity to go back to LA, where I'm from, my home, and invite friends into the video and go back to my high school, which was not in the original video. Go to the studio where I recorded, which we just kind of flashed outside. Just all those like fun memories,
Love
So
it.
I got to wrangle all my friends to wear the Children Behave shirts because I'm building my own nation of children behavers, which could mean anything from a lot of moms coming out going, I need that shirt, to people who are being a little cheeky about it going, yeah, behave, yeah, right. I'm like, well, but we're, adults now. We can choose to or not. So it is a little cheeky. And I'm loving it because we're doing different colors and different styles of the Children Behave. So it's a growing group of people.
Love that. All right, so let's get to the album. Pieces of Me. This is, to your point, you're steering more rock. This is a bluesy, smoky
Can you hear me
collection of...
chewing in this mic? I'm sure you can.
Oh, that's what makes this fun.
It is pieces of me, literally, people.
Yeah, nothing like celebrities chewing on microphone. That's my niche. You have to own a niche to be successful, right? That's
Try
it.
to be cool while doing it.
But I mean, you grew up on classic rock, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, definitely. Well, I started off listening to country music because that's what my mom and my stepfather listened to. But, my mom was a huge Elvis fan. My dad, my stepfather, kind of like mainly traditional country for the most part. But I had an older cousin who I would go and sneak in her bedroom on the weekends. She'd go and visit her dad. So I would stay with my favorite aunt, my mom's sister. And she'd say, you could go in there and you can listen to the records, but just don't scratch, because I wouldn't even be here had I scratched a record.
For sure. I get
but,
that.
Back then you framed all the albums, if you remember. So I would take them off the wall and read all the liner notes and read about the band and just the magic of the wardrobe. And I found Fleetwood Mac and I found Heart. I was already listening to Led Zeppelin at that time and AC/DC, but...
I couldn't love you anymore than right now.
But the women, the girls, I just was in awe of it, you know, and then listening to their voices and how unique, especially Ann Wilson and Stevie, you know, how unique they are. And there was something that really spoke to me about girls doing it and holding their own and being cool and, you know, being sexy but not ripping off their clothes, you know. I mean, the magic behind all of it. And so that was it. I started studying more Stevie Nicks and Ann Wilson, and you know, my mom started letting me put Fleetwood Mac songs into my country set, which was, you know, like a turning point for me, because she was a big fan.
Was there a Fleetwood Mac song you just loved singing?
Well, with a band, I love singing Chain.
Such a great song.
Especially if they were really good.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, it incorporated the whole band, and it was like this magical thing. And I still love singing that song.
I love that song because it builds momentum.
Right. Landslide is my favorite song to sing.
It's an emotional song.
It's an emotional song. I get it. And it's just, you know, I love the story behind it and everything like that. So, you know, as I've learned more about Stevie and got to meet her, and she's lovely and she's very supportive of my music, which is great when you have your idol and they take the time to talk to you, and she's like, keep going and just love what you're doing as long as you're having fun, and you know, and you need those words of encouragement.
So Pieces of Me, like, this is Tiffany circa 2018, 2019. This is like an audio LinkedIn profile.
Yes.
This is you. Some of the songs I wanted to talk about. The title track, an emotional crossroads kind of song?
An emotional crossroads kind of song. Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, looking back now, I'm a big believer that I wouldn't really change stuff. You know, I don't really look back in the past, and I don't really try to dwell on the past. But yeah, I mean, now there are things that I went, I wish I could have done that better, or wish I hadn't done that, you know. But again, I don't stay there, because you can't change the past. And the past, everything you've done has led you to who you are now, for good or for bad. So every day you have you know, an option and a choice to make it better or to make it worse. So, you know, and I learned a lot of that, I think, you know, going through friends who've had addiction problems or, you know, divorces and stuff like that, and being there with them and watching them, you know, fall or rise, you know, from those situations. So, and my own stuff, you know, definitely. So Pieces of Me is definitely, you know, the most vulnerable. Especially there's a line in there that says, you know, I wouldn't know the girl that I am now, you know, looking back, if I was in another world, you know, I'd never know the girl that I'd become, which is, I've found a lot of women have written and go, oh my God, that line just really sits home with me, because I'm doing things, or I've become so far of what I had envisioned. And, you know, yeah, I think I've done that in the past a couple times, allowed things in my life that have taken me into different directions. And I'm like, hold on, whoa, wait, I got to get back to what I do. You get a little lost sometimes in life.
If someone was looking for a tether to 80s Tiffany, the closest you can come to on that album would be Beautiful, because it's got that.
Probably, yes. Yeah, definitely.
It's got that vibe. It's all about the bass line on that song.
Well, that's Mark. He actually was writing it. We were in California, and we were going to some interviews or something, and he was just working, you know, on music. And I heard Beautiful, the track, and I was like, ooh, I like that. And he was like, oh, no, that's not really for you, maybe. It's kind of too punk. I was like, what? Hold on. If I can write to it, I'll tell you. And I literally walked away, finished my makeup, and came out, I want to touch you, yeah, because you're beautiful. And I mean, being in LA, being around, you know, beautiful people, and I don't mean just on the outside, I mean my friends who I think are beautiful and wonderful, and missing them. You know, I live in Nashville now, so not having them in my life every day, you know, and the fun and the laughter that we have, and just how they, you know, they raise their kids or whatever. I think that's all beautiful. There's a lot of beautiful, you know, it's not always just superficial, but the sun was shining. We were about to hit, you know, Santa Monica or whatever for a meeting, and I was like, the beautiful people. And I don't know, and so I walked out and I was like, I don't know, don't sell me short. I think I got this.
Hold my beer.
It's a single now. Yeah. I love that song. So, but it is really, you know, it's about what you think is beautiful. It's about what you think is beauty in your life. And you can have a little fun with it. But no, that is about totally, you know, on the legit thing. It's about making out with people and wanting to, if there was no strings, if you could.
You brought up something interesting that I hadn't even considered. Like, I find myself in touch with people who I grew up with just because of social media. We're all connected, and you know, maybe I don't see these people for 20, 30 years, but I kind of know, oh, they had a kid, or they moved to Dubuque, or whatever. Right. As Tiffany, you probably can't.
You did say Dubuque, didn't you?
I was trying to think of an obscure enough city. But as Tiffany, you can't really take advantage of social media as a private citizen, can you?
Well, I do. Yeah, I mean, everyone yells at me because I still have my private Facebook, which no, I won't accept everybody. Sorry, guys. Because I keep it for my family. I mainly keep it for myself, really, so that I can be in touch with my friends and family. Because, it's pretty crap to be a best friend to somebody who's famous sometimes, especially when they're working, because I can't always be there for birthday parties or weddings or take your phone call whenever. I mean, if it's an emergency, you'll get a hold of me.
Now, if we have fried golf balls,
then I will call.
It's on.
I will answer your call. That's the key, people. But no, I think for me, I can see my friends when they're happy. I can see when they're not, and it's a way for me to know when I need to check in.
But it's certainly no substitute for being in person, being there.
It's definitely not. But I mean, I love FaceTime. I mean, all of this is making, I'm making it work now. When I was on the road in the 80s, I didn't have a child. And then when I was in the 90s, I took my son on the road with me. But now I have Bug and Precious, my niece and nephew, Bailey and Jameson, and they're going to be 5. And I have to say, I have a little guilt being out here because Aunt T rocks their world. We have shopping dates. We have things we have to do when I'm
fantastic.
So it's very hard because I do find myself sometimes waking up going, I just miss Bug and Precious. But they are home and we FaceTime all the time and they send me videos. And they've been to the shows, so they know what Aunt T is doing.
Yes.
Now my sister hears, I think we're alone now, every day. And I do mean every
I believe it.
day of her life. So there is a little chuckle behind that. And I'm like, yeah.
Is that where the million views came from?
She doesn't mind it. I know, we just celebrated 1 million views on the new video in a month.
Wait until they see this.
This is awesome,
Which now
awesome,
we know
awesome.
is basically Jameson and
It's Jameson
Precious.
Bailey. Bug and Precious rock.
They've got the numbers up.
Getting Auntie's back. I love them.
Another song on the album, King of Lies. This is an empowering song?
Yeah.
Coming to terms with some bullshit, basically?
Well, yeah, total bullshit, yeah. No, I mean, haven't we all even misread someone or feel that you're being lied to or played out or anything like that? So that's kind of where that came from, King of Lies. I mean, at least I make people a king.
Right.
They're on the top of their game.
you're royalty. That's
Yeah,
great.
you're on the top of it.
You sit atop the throne.
Exactly.
And along the lines of that smoky bluesiness I mentioned earlier, Feels Like a Storm. Wow. That's a standout for me.
Well, we get so many compliments on that song, which is, that's kind of about road life, That's kind of all the
That's
mystery
kind of your
of...
Stevie Nicks.
That's your turn the page?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, that's, it's a true song about road life, things that are behind the scenes, things that, you feel at the moment, things that are happening around you. Yeah, feels like a storm.
So if you listening, have not checked in with Tiffany for a while, Pieces of Me, really, it's breathtaking. It's
Thank you. Thank you.
You both did a fantastic job.
Thank you. Well, I couldn't have done it without Mark because, like I said, as a lyricist, I have a lot of, and I have melodies, but I don't play. I play a little piano and not good. But, you have to have somebody who collaborates with you, and having Mark with me now in my life, and, just being able to write and really get my stories out, and also have that great base of music where it's not, again, I was writing great lyrics and then it was like these tracks that were, I was like, get back my lyrics. Having it all supported and in one body of music and representing the rock side of me. I am all smiles nowadays.
Are you going to keep going in that direction?
Of course we are, yeah. Probably a little harder, maybe a little bit. I'm going to still keep it retro and fun because I think that's something that we found that, I don't know, I can't speak for Mark, but I think that's probably what he was trying to do as well, was keep the retro fun side of it.
Well, it's definitely balanced.
Yes.
You've got to try and keep the retro old stuff, but blend it with the new stuff to try and obviously not alienate the original audience, but also get new audience.
Yeah, also, to use the word again, also evolve.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was kind of the idea behind the whole style.
Are you still interested in acting? Reality shows is, I guess, a form of acting in theater.
Kind.
But it's no Mega Piranha.
It is saving the world, yeah. The Everglades, they need me at some point. I'm going to have to
it
go
seems
back.
like you don't even have the time to even consider doing more acting roles, but
not now. But I do have scripts that come in all the time. So should one, catch my eye, we'll make allowances.
Can we get you in one of those Marvel movies? Can we get you in like an Ant-Man movie or something?
I would love that. Well, I would love to continue to do sci-fi just because it's wacky and it's fun. It's me.
Oh my God! Did you see the Banana Splits trailer?
I did not. No, I've been on a bus. I don't see anything.
Well, they have like YouTube and ways to see.
Yeah, I know, but I don't have any time. Seriously, by the time I get back, I'm finally like either watching the TV on the bus and then the signal goes. So now we just don't do it because it pisses you off more than it makes you.
I just want to put this in your head. You remember the Banana Splits from childhood?
Yeah.
It's been reimagined as a horror movie.
Oh.
On sci-fi.
All right, that's what we're doing.
It looks glorious.
I'll have to try to watch in a venue. I think this is a better because they have a Wi-Fi.
Absolutely.
There. Yes.
All right. So I don't want to monopolize too much of your time. I want to get you back on the road. You're going to Detroit next from here?
I think so, yes.
Okay. So let's figure out how to divest ourselves of yummy food from Murray Brothers Caddyshack in Rosemont. Was that a plug? I feel like ringing a bell every time.
Ding, 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 and ding, ding, ding. These are amazing.
I apologize. I haven't been able to respond to people as they've been commenting on the Facebook Live. Someone just wrote, haha, the empty plates took up a whole seat. Is that true, Becca?
Yes.
See, Mark was busy back there.
I almost sat on a quinoa salad, so there's that.
Oh, how was the quinoa? If we don't eat the
I haven't had it yet.
Okay, if we don't eat that, Andy Murray's going to be pissed.
Eat that.
Okay, good. I'm eating that after I sing.
Okay. You don't want to make him angry.
No.
That's like a slight against the entire Murray family.
Well, that we can't have that.
No. So again, Tiffany Tunes.
TiffanyTunes.com.
Go see her. Go see them perform live.
Please.
Do it.
I got to ask.
You'll have fun. We're really fun.
Of course
You'll have way more fun than you think, actually.
Because you're freaking Tiffany, that's why.
Well, because I talk a lot, in case you haven't noticed.
What?
And yeah, no, it's a shocker. And every live show is different. We kind of roll with the crowd. So if you guys bring it, and also, we're going to be doing a little bit, every once in a while, we'll be doing a new song retro from old school that you haven't heard Tiff sing in a long time, but revamped in a new version.
Super
so
fun.
Get into it, get with it, Yeah, but I'm telling everybody to request stuff because, we've done Johnny's Got the Inside Moves now, a little like more dirty. Mm-hmm. I just realized, thanks to my band, Enlightenment, that I was singing a song that at 14 was not appropriate. Johnny's Got the Inside Moves, really? Johnny's got the it on me. Somebody's got me. Yeah, no, I've been enlightened.
So it's not a metaphor. Johnny's got the inside moves.
I have been enlightened too. And I don't know if that's really what it was written about. I will have to get with that writer. But now that it's been, discussed, I was singing. That's not okay. Who did this? So we've chuckled it out a little bit, but we've reworked the song Radio Romance as well. I have to say, because hey, Mr. Mambo, it's a little silly now. I can't get into it at all. So yeah, with a better guitar on it, and some validation, I'm trying to make this happen because you never want to tell a fan, oh, I hate that song, but yeah, I'm not crazy about some of those. But I have to do it, and I'm grateful that I get requests. So you gotta, And
it is so cool. I mean,
be in the middle.
Your fans, who, as you've mentioned, are really attached to you and what you have going on.
Which I love.
It's because they literally grew up with you. They were your age when they started listening,
and they're still growing. Aren't we still growing up? Because I didn't.
Oh, for
stop.
sure.
I think that's the thing.
They matured through the beginning stages of adulthood and on forward simultaneously with you.
And now they're coming out on the Mixtape Tour, and we're reminiscing 30 years, celebrating. And I think that, a lot of people are coming out and going, yeah, I remember my teen, but what they're walking out with, which again, I'm so thrilled. The album's selling so well in the Mixtape Tour. Some people don't even have a clue, haven't heard the album, but they hear my voice. Some people have heard the message of Pieces of Me. They're intrigued and they buy the album. But again, that's what we're living now.
Yeah.
Pieces of Me. That's what I'm, reflecting our current state. So, it's full circle again. I love it.
Love it. Okay, I do want to thank one more time the kind folk at Murray Brothers Caddyshack. There's Andy Murray. He's watching on a phone outside.
I love it. I'm eating everything, I promise.
Actually, he may not even be watching. He's just kind of he's got that kind of overseer look. He's got his hands in his pockets, just surveying his land. Mm-hmm. Also want to thank the Autobarn Mazda of Evanston, 1015 Chicago Avenue, for sponsoring the show. Want to thank you for being Tiffany.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for letting us grow up with you.
Oh, thank you guys so much.
And Mark, you're fantastic. You can play guitar anywhere, anytime. That's a
Thank you very
great
much.
sounding acoustic guitar, too.
Sounds good in this Mazda, I have to say.
It
does.
There's some acoustics going on.
Yes. I mean, it's no Allstate Arena, but...
No.
But we're working it.
So thank you for watching and listening. It's Tiffany.
Thanks, guys.